Some of you are aware. Some of you may not be aware. Their head coach, Mike Boschee, and I were college teammates at the University of North Dakota, and that is why Bemidji State has been on our schedule and continues to be on our schedule. And then, as Jarek said, off to Texas Arlington this weekend. They've got a new coaching staff. They've got a relatively new roster as well. A lot of the players that we played against last year here in our building were seniors a year ago. So they've got both a new coaching staff and a very new roster from what we saw a year ago. Well, you know, Mike has had some turnover in his roster as well. So he's got a handful of guys back, but he's got 9 new guys in addition to the players that are returning. I think 4 transfers and 5 new freshmen. So he's had some turnover in that roster. So in terms of being able to look at some things from a year ago, in terms of personnel, we don't have a lot of that just because the roster has turned over. Now, he and I have known each other for going back to our playing days. So I do know what he's telling them and what he's coaching them on, and they're going to do things. They're going to do things the right way. They're going to play really hard. Just don't have a lot in terms of their personnel because their roster is pretty new. So I would tell you right now, it's more about us continuing to get better at some of the foundational things, and that would be the most important thing for me going into this game tomorrow. They're going to present some challenges because Mike has always done a good job with them, and he's always recruited well, so they'll have good players. And as I mentioned, they will play very hard. They'll play the right way. So there'll be plenty of challenges for us. Most important to me and our staff is that we keep taking steps forward. What we saw in the first half defensively against Upper Iowa was a really good step forward from the game against Wartburg. Now, whether we let up, didn't pay attention to detail, weren't determined enough, whichever of those it was, or a combination of those things in the second half, or our ability to adjust to some of the things that Upper Iowa did coming out of halftime, we did not do that well enough. So we've had good practices since that game. Had a very good practice on Saturday. So we're making progress, but that'll be the most important thing for us is, can we make some more progress? Can we put together 30 minutes of very good defense? Can we put together 35 minutes? Can we extend it from what we've done in the first 2 games?